On behalf of all of us here with the Calgary Flames, my name is Beasley saying so long. Enjoy your evening and stay warm. Now down to Brendan Parker, Meaghan Mikkelson. Post-game show presented by Original 16.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age, no purchase necessary.
Flames post-game live brought to you by Original 16, celebrating things done well. Brendan Parker alongside Meaghan Mikkelson, and we're back. It's been a couple of weeks, but back on home ice with the Calgary Flames, and what a way to kick off a 5-game homestand, then a 6-2 victory over the Florida Panthers here. They take the season series, and tonight in pretty impressive fashion. What did you make of tonight? Obviously some subplots, some storylines that kind of fell underneath the game itself, but the win is the most important thing, and they got it done.
Yeah, I think in general, the biggest thing for me coming into this game, besides Matthew Tkachuk, was the offensive struggles that the Calgary Flames have had lately. And I did a bit of deep diving into the numbers. And in terms of high danger scoring chances, slot shots, inner slot shots, they were ranked 27th and 28th. In the league coming into tonight. And then we see the first 3 goals that they score, they're a result of traffic, players at the net, shots coming from those areas. So off the bat, it was that for me. When the score was 3-1, it became a little bit of, okay, this is a team that has a history this season of letting leads go. Can they hang on to this one? But they kept finding ways to get the puck in the back of the net.
And I wonder, like, as you kind of talk about, situationally, but the 3 in the first period too, just about momentum too, and how sometimes you get a couple, and obviously that confidence starts coming with it, and how that can change kind of the tide of the game early on for this group too.
Exactly, and I think they've been in that situation where they've seen leads slip away, and like you said, momentum, it can come from a lot of different areas, and another big standout for me was Dan Vladar, and the amount of saves that he made at key times was really on his game tonight and was a huge difference maker. Yeah, no question, and we'll get to some post-game thoughts here. I think MacKenzie Weegar is actually standing by. He's going to join us here live on the Flames TV desk, and we'll welcome it. Hop in there, MacKenzie. You hear us? And we'll also hear from players inside the locker room here coming up in just a moment. But we're on. We're live TV. We're just bringing you right on. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Congrats on the win. That was a good one. What did you make it tonight? And just obviously the early goals and the way you carried it from there.
Yeah, I think obviously our first period was strong. Came out, firing, got some timely goals there. Second period they had a little pushback. I thought Vadi made some timely saves there for us. And then in the third, I think, we did a great job closing it out. Yeah.
Obviously, 2 games against your former team and now 2 wins. There was a lot of lead up to these 2 games. How good does it feel now to have those 2 behind you and with 2 wins?
Yeah, I think, obviously a lot of hype around these 2 games, and it feels really good. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure Johnny was really happy. But, I think the guys in the dressing room knew how big of a game it is for Johnny and I. And they really rallied for us tonight. So I'm really proud of those guys tonight.
What about coming off the road trip, obviously long road trip, but to set kind of the standard, set the tone here for this homestand too, and maybe just, get the guys feeling good about, sort of some of the things you've been doing well, but to see some results for it too here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the bigger picture, not so much the hype and stuff like that, but the bigger picture, those, it's a big game for us. We got to build on this one. Every game from here on out, it's so critical for us right now, especially in the standings and stuff like that. So, carrying forward in this homestand, we really have to build off this first game. Yeah.
I do have one more question. We saw when you went to take a slap shot in the game there, and your stick broke, and you were shaking your head on the bench. Why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, I'm trying so hard to get that first goal. It kind of seems like there's some unlucky breaks. Pretty emotional guy sometimes, so a little frustration, but I think, a little emotion goes a long way.
That thing exploded too. That was.
Yeah, well, I tried to just close my eyes and just bury it as hard as I could, but that's probably why it blew up.
And I see, I mean, you had also the shot that Brett ends up converting on too, but just, and even just quickly on Jonathan, and you mentioned him there earlier, but the reaction on his goal, you could tell that one meant a little bit to him too.
Obviously Richie, that's what that line does. They grind hard down low. They get those those greasy goals for us, and it was a timely goal. It was a big goal in the second period, especially when they were pushing hard. But yeah, Johnny, I think, he had some legs tonight, he had some jump, and it's really good to see. I think he's been playing really well. On the road trip, he was playing well, so I think he's building on his game right now, and it's he's getting the results.
Yeah, well said. Appreciate the time, man. Congrats on the win. And, by the way, Movember?
Movember. It's a little greasy.
You got a little Mobro page?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to shaving it off.
December's not coming past that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing it, man. Appreciate
it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
MacKenzie Weegar stopping by Flames TV desk, and he obviously had one of the helpers on the Brett Ritchie goal there. Part of the Calgary Flames win. I think at that time made it 4-1, so it's kind of a big response goal. As we were kind of talking about, at 3-1, you're kind of waiting for the reaction, and that goes a long way, just about kind of responding almost immediately after that 3-1 goal.
It's huge. I mean, they say that the worst lead in hockey is having a 2-goal lead, so that goal to go up, it's huge, and you need the contributions and the, I guess, that depth scoring. You need that. So for it to come through at a time like that, it was huge. Yeah,
no question. Let's show you. We've been talking about it. Let's show you how it all went down here tonight on the Flames TV Live postgame show. And plenty of offense, which is a good sign, as we talked about right off the top of the show. This is a team looking for a few more to find the back of the net. And how about this play by Andrew Mangiapane to set up Dylan Dubé and his 4th of the season?
Yeah, and something, coming into this game, like I said earlier, was, their need to get to the front of the net and to generate more opportunities from the slot, inner slot. And Darryl Sutter talked this morning about some of the guys, the young players, the wingers, that haven't been scoring and needing to do that. And you have to think that these are two of the players that he's looking to have do that, and they did that to start the game off.
Yeah, great start for that, to do a shorthanded marker, which was nice to see here as well. And then on the other side of it, the power play, and this is just traffic, as you kind of described, and it's Jonathan Huberdeau that gets the bounce to find its net.
Again, it's traffic, and you have guys at the net, and Sutter talked about that this morning as well, as the importance of just having traffic, getting the shots through, but having people there to pick up the rebounds.
Yeah, just to create a little chaos in the blue paint, and works there for Huberdeau. That's his 4th, and as that was described nicely by MacKenzie, you could tell he played with some jump tonight, finishes with a goal and an assist, but that was a big one. And then kind of continues, Rasmus Andersson, who's been an offensive dynamo here for the last week or so, and he finds this one stepping in off the rebound.
I think one of the biggest things that stands out to me in that play is Andrew Mangiapane in front of the net there. Again, getting to the interior, into those dirty areas, but Rasmus Andersson just driving that offense from the back end.
And drawing some bodies away from the front too, just where Andrew was, which here, and now as we roll on. So 3-0 after 1, and this was kind of, as we were just rolling the highlights in, this is the response from Florida. You knew you would get one in that second period, and nice little redirect at the side of the net. That's Nick Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Florida Panthers are a good hockey team, so you like to think that after getting scored on 3 times that there's going to be some kind of response. But interesting, again, where does that goal come from?
Yeah, right around the blue paint. And then here it is. This is kind of what we talked about as the important goal. I think this must have been shortly after the stick break too, I think, right? And so MacKenzie unloads this one too, and that one doesn't miss by much, but Ritchie, again, kind of drawing bodies and throwing it at the cage.
Well, and they say they don't ask how.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? It's how many. So Brett Ritchie, he's been great this season at just finding ways to put the puck on the net. Obviously if a goaltender is not set, they're not ready, why not throw the puck in there?
Yeah, perfect example. Borowski was kind of retreating back into the blue paint there and ends up going in off him and in. And once again, Florida would come back with a little bit of a push. Sam Reinhart gets the wrister right as across the steps across the blue line, and out for him is his 7th of the season, makes it a 2-goal game once again.
Yeah, and again, you're up, there's a 2-goal lead. So again, this is where you're really, as a team, you're being tested. But this is a veteran group. Like we said earlier, it's a situation that they've been in before, and they knew how to respond.
Yeah, and this is a really well-played third period by the Calgary Flames, and this is later in the third period, but obviously the one that seals it up, and it's Tyler Toffoli. Good opportunity there for Huberdeau on the breakaway, but sticks with it, sets up Toffoli, and makes it 5-2 at this point.
and just a great shot by Tyler Toffoli. I mean, we know that he has an incredible shot, and he's great at capitalizing on the opportunities that he does get, and made no mistake there. 201
for Tyler Toffoli in his career, and then a little 2-on-0 to finish things off. This duo was dynamite for them. I think we added it up. I think it was four points in the first period from wingers, and then obviously to finish it off here in a nice night. What stood out before we go to anything further, but just about the night of guys like Andrew Mangiapane and Dylan Dubé, and their contribution here tonight.
Yeah, I think for me it was the way that they stepped up. They know that maybe that what they have been expected to do that they haven't necessarily done so far this season, and that a lot of the Flames offense, it needs to come from them as well. So I think, we saw a little bit more intensity when it came to, getting up the ice. You saw they had 2-on-1 rushes that resulted in goals. It was, the speed and the drive to get up the ice and get up the ice quickly, but then also the finish. In order to finish plays, you need that extra little bit of intensity, and I think that we saw that from them.
Yeah, and they were fast tonight too, which is part of their game every night. All right, let's hear from the head coach, Darryl Sutter. I think he just finished up with the media. Let's listen in on what he thought of tonight's hockey game.
Got airplane hips. Jeez. Go ahead, you guys.
Fair to say special teams was the difference in this one for your group tonight, Darryl?
I thought we were pretty good right through, but obviously that shorty right away, and then the power play. Tonight was more about timely goals, I think. We scored the first goal, and then the 4-2 goal, and then the 5-2 goals are big goals for us.
What did you think of how your team played with the lead tonight?
We started with the lead and we kept the lead, so take it. Right? You're always concerned coming home from the trip, the energy level and all that. So we got some big games out of our 4 big D. Those 2 pairs were awesome, and then those kids up front were really good too, Meaghan and Dubes.
How important was it for Meaghan and Dubes to get on the score sheet tonight? And play
They've been getting them though. Like, we've been talking to them lots. They've been, you look at it. They had 10 shots 3 games ago, and they've been basically getting half our shots. So it was gonna come for them eventually.
What did you think of your goaltending tonight?
He's solid. I mean, he had there's probably 4 or 5 really good ones, but he was solid. I liked the way he covered pucks and moved pucks.
When you talk about the challenge of coming back from a long trip, do you think that energy in here tonight helped your group?
Yeah, I think coming home it always does. This is a unique building with a unique base, right? And I've always said that the fans are just supporting us, the players. Okay. Good enough? Okay.
All right, there's some thoughts from the head coach, Darryl Sutter, and we kind of alluded to it off the top, haven't really dived much into it, but the subplots of this game. Matthew Tkachuk making his first trip back into Calgary, and, he talked a little bit before the game about some of the emotions, wasn't sure what he'd feel. What did you make of the evening? I mean, I would say the reactions were kind of, funny in that there was a nice little tribute, nice little ovation as we expected, but also heard some boos too.
Honestly, I don't think the fans knew what they were going to feel coming into this game. I was walking around the dome before the start of the game, and I heard some fans saying they were going to cheer for him, others saying that they were going to boo him, and then one person said that they weren't sure what they were going to do yet. So,
Feel it out.
We saw a little bit of everything, which is what I heard before the game as well. But you have to think that. It's kind of a monkey off Matthew Tkachuk's back, right? Yeah. There was so much hype and so much talk coming into this game that he has to feel good about the fact that it's over and it's done.
Yeah, and the evening, I mean, I would assume that, as far as the game, obviously not the result they're looking for, but, I think we saw, elements of that, and here's the nice little tribute. We saw a little standing ovation from Flames faithful, which is well-deserved. 6 seasons here to start his NHL career, and then the night of work. I mean, we kind of saw elements of his game that we've seen here for 6 years, haven't we?
Yeah, we definitely saw, that grittiness a little bit in the beginning there, but we also saw the human being side of Matthew Tkachuk. And at the end of the day, like, these guys are hockey players, but they're also human. So you could see that he cares about his teammates, obviously, and still cares about the guys that he played with here. That showed, but I think that, like I said, he's probably just happy that this one's done.
Well, I thought it was interesting too the way you asked MacKenzie about the fact that they get the 2 wins. That's most important, but kind of getting them out of the way too. And you can kind of sense that from even the two Florida guys, obviously, that it's fun to do it, but now it's in the rearview mirror and we move on, right?
Yeah, you definitely can sense it. You can see it in them.
For sure. All right, let's go back inside the Calgary Flames locker room. I think Rasmus Andersson standing by.
Mark, what'd you think out there tonight?
Good start, good first period. Obviously, they got a little momentum in the second and stuck with it in third, and it was a good win. It was nice.
Did your group need to kind of see the floodgates open up a little bit offensively just to get some guys feeling better about themselves?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, we still want to stick to our structure and system, but it was a lot of good plays made up front today, and we managed to capitalize. So it was good to get the win, and now we build up that.
Is it nice for your group once you get that second one on the power play and give yourself a little bit more breathing room so you're not just dealing with a 1-goal lead down the stretch there?
Yeah, it was nice to get one on the power play, especially kind of for our unit. It feels like we haven't scored in a little bit, so it was good to get one, and then we get the third, and we kind of build on in the first period. Then obviously they get the 3-1, and then we have 4-1. We're still fine, and 4-2 they get momentum, and they have a couple long shifts in our zone and that kind of stuff. But overall, I think it was a strong performance, and it was nice to get the win.
Obviously, there was some attention with Matthew Tkachuk, and the media made that a big deal. On your end, was there any considered effort to not get him involved in the game? Can you describe what the approach was?
No, I mean, obviously he's going to be involved in the game. He comes back to Calgary, so we all know how good of a player he is. He makes a lot of good plays. So, and as I said, he's a good player. It's obviously going to be attention towards him. And but yeah, it was nice to get the win. And now we build.
Raz, you guys don't choose the reaction, but when the crowd gets into it like that, they're booing him every time he touches it. Do you guys feed off that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when the fans are in the game, it's more exciting to play, and fans were great tonight. So let's keep it that way.
The focus on Tkachuk also brings obviously focus on Huberdeau. He ends up the first star. How do you feel about him? Given what he's been through thus far.
He's a hell of a player. At the end of the day, it's a hockey trade, and it's a trade that works out for both teams. We get Weeksy and Hubie, are hell of a players, and Florida gets a really good player as well. So big night from Hubie, and as I said, he's a hell of a player.
What did we see tonight that needs to be kind of a hallmark for this team during your 5-game homestand?
Just stick with it. Good start and sticking with it. Honestly, it sounds boring, but good start, get the first goal and build off that, and play quick, and move the puck up to our forwards, let them make some plays, and get a little bit more shots. I think we'll only add in maybe mid-20s, and get a couple more shots, and just stick with it. Honestly, stick with it the full 60 minutes, even if you have a couple shifts in a D zone or whatever. You just gotta stick with it, and I thought we did a good job of that tonight. There was no panic, even when there was 4-2. We went out and tried to get the fifth one, and that's what we did. And it was nice to get that one for sure.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, Rasmus Andersson, some thoughts on the hockey game here tonight, maybe the upcoming homestand, but take a look at some of his work over the last handful of games, the road trip, and then tonight. Has a hand offensively and kind of making an impact across the board here.
He's been absolutely sensational for the Calgary Flames this season, and just really driving so much offense from the back end. And, for me watching him, I'm a defenseman as well. I have such an appreciation for his poise, his puck patience, and just his hockey IQ. Yeah. He's such a smart player out there, the way he sees plays unfolding, sees the ice, but also he has the skills to support it. Obviously, we saw he's got the hands, he's got the shot, and the last thing for me is just the confidence that he's playing with, and has really stepped into a big role this season. Yeah. He walked by us a couple minutes ago too, and he looked pretty confident.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, minutes are up too, right?
Rightfully so.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's part of it. Rasmus Andersson, a goal and an assist here tonight, and obviously a huge part of the conversation here this evening. Let's go back inside the Flames locker room. Let's hear from Jonathan Huberdeau now.
Sweet. Yeah, not bad.
That was the plan, wasn't it?
Yeah, great game. I mean, always nice to beat them too. So it's great to do that, and a great team effort tonight.
What did you see on the goal you scored?
I didn't see anything. I just, I don't know what happened. I don't know. It's a lucky goal, but we'll take it.
Some of the fans were chanting Hubie's better. Like, do you hear that stuff? Like, was it me and the fans seem like they've got your back and you're embracing you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear that, but no, that's kind of funny, obviously. But no, I mean, obviously he left here, so they're probably, Matt got me in weeks. So, but now I'm glad it's over for the year. Now I can just focus on the season.
What did you see on Tyler's goal? I mean, you had that really good chance and then managed to collect the puck and find an open man.
Yeah, I mean, I had a breakaway. The puck was spinning a little bit on that breakaway, so I couldn't lift it. But after that, I just stuck with it and kind of threw it there. And then Toff came in, and we know he's got a good shot, so he's going to put it in.
I know you guys don't choose the reaction for Matthew, but when everyone's booing when he touches the puck, there's a good atmosphere in here tonight. Did that help you guys, do you think?
I mean, not booing him, I feel, but the atmosphere was just good to be home. I mean, after a long road trip, and you could tell there was some excitement there, and the way we played tonight, we knew they were on a back-to-back too, so I think we took advantage of that and played well.
What did you like the most about the way you guys played then?
Just everyone. I think we were playing fast, and obviously they tried to come back, but we stuck with it and play with some confidence, and it's great to start a homestand like that.
Yeah, thanks for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Original 16, a great way to celebrate things done well.
All right, welcome back inside Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16, celebrating things done well. Brendan Parker, Meaghan Mikkelson, and putting the wrap on a 6-2 Calgary Flames win. And just heard from Jonathan Huberdeau, some smiles there, which is good to see. Goal and assist tonight, and he's had some fun against his former team in 2 meetings.
He has, and I always find it interesting talking to the players after the game. And for me, Jonathan Huberdeau, he always comes back to the team. He said, it was a team effort, but at the end of the day, that has to feel good. 2 wins against your former team. You see the celebration and the look on his face, and you can tell that, there has to be a tremendous amount of relief there. And, I think that also we're starting to see a little bit more from him, a little bit more in his play. He's starting to find his groove.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it'll take some time, as, guys have mentioned, but you start to see some of those, brilliant flashes throughout the course of the game, things that even didn't connect here tonight. Obviously, the breakaway and nice move that I think maybe catches the skate, but more importantly, the offense kind of coming throughout the lineup, and that's got to be the big takeaway here tonight. And maybe just as we kind of wrap things up on, the homestand and how a little bit of momentum, as we've discussed, the offense and how that can help this group maybe throughout this 5-game homestand to really start to string some wins together here.
Yeah, I think, we heard from Rasmus Andersson as well, saying they need to stick with it.
Yeah.
So obviously there's going to be a lot of good things that they take away from this game in terms of, the offense that we saw, Dan Vladar and net being sensational. Yeah. But I think there's still that, playing a consistent full 60 minutes, that guaranteed, this is a team that wants to get better every single day. And that's something they're going to be addressing.
Yeah, no question. All right, let's park this one here, 6-2, and the Calgary Flames walk out with a win and have an opportunity to continue to build on that as the homestand rolls along on Thursday night. Dark mode was activated. The Blasty was back in action. We'll see it 12 times this season, and so far, 1 for 1. They look good in black. 6-2 the final as they pick up the win. Jonathan Huberdeau had a pair of points, a goal and assist. So did Rasmus Andersson, Dylan Dubé, Andrew Mangiapane, all connecting. Canadians are the next team up. Another return. Sean Monahan back in this building for the first time as a visitor on Thursday night when it's the Flames and Habs. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. We'll see you on Thursday night.